In this video, we're going to talk about the stair tool, which is right over here. There's two ways of drawing stairs, and I'm going to go over those with you in this video. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to use, for the sake of this example tutorial video, the default template. So I'm going to make sure that one's on and then hit OK. And then I'm going to create just some walls so I can have something to work with. Let's say that's my stair room, and I'm going to dimension these walls about, let's say, 10 foot apart. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Those are my walls, and then I'm going to check my levels, and this, I have my levels at 10 foot, so I'm going to change this to let's say 12, I don't know, 11 feet. So let me move this back over here so we can see it. So my first floor and second floor levels are 11 foot apart, and my stair is going to go up 11 feet. Go back to my first floor. Okay, from here, we're going to do the stair tool. And when we use this template, it only comes in with one stair, the 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread. And it's got a couple of others, but this is the main one you're going to use. And that is mainly for commercial projects. So I'm just going to do this one as an example, and then I'll show you how to do a residential stair, which has different properties. So after selecting the type of stair that we want, we need to tell it it's going to go from level 1 up to level 2. And then the program calculates exactly how many risers you're going to need. You don't need to enter any of that information. And by default, it knows that it's 11-inch treads. And all that is defined in the property types. So if you click there, you're going to see that here's where you have all the attributes for this stair type, and it's telling that the maximum riser height is 7 inches, the tread's 11, the minimum width of the stair is 3 feet, and it's got a predefined let's look in here, tread thickness. It's going to draw a tread that's 2 inches thick, and the nosing is going to be 1 inch offset from the riser, and it's got a nosing profile, and we'll look at that after I draw it. And it is going to, by having this box checked, it's going to draw a riser on there, and the riser thickness in this case is a 1/4 inch thick. Again, this is a commercial pan stair, so that's fine. I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to leave this alone, accept the default, and again, the only thing I'm going to check is that I'm going from level 1 to level 2. Okay. Next, you want to look at the options bar right here. And by default, it wants to draw the stair down the center line of the stair. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to draw the stair using the left, a left justified stair. And I'm going to, by default, the 3 foot wide is a stair. I'm going to say 4 foot wide stair. And it's automatically going to draw a landing because that's checked. So the program already knows it's going from level 1 to level 2, and all I have to do is tell it I'm going to draw this using the left side of the stair, and I want a 4 foot wide stair. So knowing that, I'm just going to pick a starting point anywhere there, and you can see that it's drawing the stair as I hover or move my mouse over to the left. It doesn't matter which direction you go, it'll draw it for you. Now, as you're moving your mouse, it's counting. Look over here in the text. It's counting the number of risers that I'm adding. So it's 7, 8, 9, and if I keep going all the way to the left, it'll finish at 19 risers. So if I'm doing a straight run, that stair would finish right there. But in this case, I want to do a U-shaped stair. So let's say if I have 19 total risers, I'm going to go, let's say 9 risers in this direction, and then I'm just going to line this up right here. Make sure that you see that little dash line to start at the same point. There, and then continue my stair all the way until it finishes. So I click, and it draws my landing for me, and it's showing me that it starts at this point, 1, 9 risers, 10, and finishes at 19, and it's going in this direction with the arrow. So after that stair is done, I hit OK, finish that sketch, and it draws a stair for me. Now I'm just going to move it, grab the stair, and move it into place where I want it. In this case, I want it from here to that corner of my walls. Let's look at it in 3D. So that's what it drew. Now by default, I forgot to tell you that it does draw handrails for you, and you can turn that option on or off as you're drawing the stair. So since it already drew it for me, I don't need that one, so because it's right up against the wall. So I'm going to just delete that. And so it drew that handrail for me on the inside. So that's a really easy way to do a stair. I'm going to go back to the floor plan and show you a section so you can see how the section looks like. Okay, so that's a section of that stair. And if you remember, what I'm doing here is TL on the keyboard, thick lines, TL, on and off. It shows the thick lines or off. So most of the time I turn it off so I can see all the lines that are there, because as you can see, when the thick lines are on, sometimes I don't see there's multiple lines there, so I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so this stair, if you remember on the stair type, under the run type right here, it's drawing a 2-inch tread, which is right here, 2 inches, and it's drawing 1-inch nosing. What that means is from the riser to the edge of the nosing is a 1-inch offset, and then a 1/4-inch riser, 1/4-inch thick riser. You can change those values in here. And so let's say I wanted, instead of a 1/4-inch riser, I want a 3/4-inch riser. And hit apply, and it automatically updates all those risers for me at a 3/4 inch. Okay, so let's say I wanted to have a different profile to my tread. I can go back to the edit type and go back in here under the run type and click on this little box to access the next menu, and that would be the tread profile or the nosing profile. Right now it's set to the stair nosing pan. It's a pan stair nosing, and it's got a couple of other shapes. What I'm looking for, I want a half circle profile, which is not preloaded in here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You go to the Insert tab, and you're going to load a family. And this is, well, you're looking for a profile. So I'm going to scroll down to Profile right here, and then I'm going to look for stairs. So the Revit program comes with some predefined stair profiles. What I'm looking for is that one, a radius stair nosing. So I'm going to select that and hit open, and what it did is it loaded that family type in here, or that profile. And you can find it in the project browser. If you click on the plus sign on the families and then scroll down to profiles, stair tread, stair nosing. So here it is. It brought in this one, and it comes with 3 predefined radiuses, 1 1/4 inch and 3/4 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since this is a commercial stair, I'm going to create a duplicate, a different stair type for residential stairs. So what I want to do is I want to select that stair in the highlights right here on the properties window. I'm going to click on Edit Type and then Duplicate. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to rename it Residential Stair. Hit OK. Make sure that it says Residential Stair, and now I can change these values for this new stair type. In residential, the maximum riser height is 7 3/4 inch, allowed by code. Also, typically it's a 10-inch tread depth, and the minimum is also 3 feet, so I'm going to leave that alone. Now I'm back over here on the run type. I'm going to change these values, and I'm going to tell it the tread thickness. I'm going to make that 3/4 inch, and then leave these. The tread profile is default. The nosing length, leave it as 1 inch. What I'm going to change is the nosing profile. Because I loaded this stair nosing radius, now it shows on this list, whereas before it didn't show it. So I'm going to select stair nosing radius 3/4 inch. And I'm going to leave the riser thickness to 3/4 inch. So these are the values that I want for this particular stair, and I hit apply. And I'm going to rename this one to residential tread. Riser. Okay, so I hit OK, and now I've got my residential stair, and the run type will be that, and I'm going to hit OK and see what happens. Let's see, it's an error message here. Stair top and exceeds or cannot reach the top. Okay, I see what happened. It's giving me an error message because originally it drew that stair as a commercial stair. It had 7-inch maximum riser. So now, as you see right here, when I change the tread height, this particular stair that's already drawn no longer aligns with the top floor. So that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that stair, and I'm going to redraw it again. Let's go back to my first floor level. Alright, so here we go. Back to architecture, and then go to stair. Make sure you select the residential stair we created. There it is, listed. And we're going from level 1 to level 2. And because the 7 3/4 inch maximum riser height, now it calculates that I only need 18 risers. That's fine, leave that alone. Okay, so I'm going to pick a starting point. Make sure that you can start on the left, and I have a 4-foot wide stair. So pick anywhere, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to go up 9 risers. So again, I'm counting right here that text that's listing how many risers I have. So click, and then I'm going to zoom in a little closer. I'm going to line up the next run right here and continue until I finish my stair there. And then click. So there is my stair. I hit OK, and it draws my stair. Now again, I'm going to select it and move it from that point to that point. So now it's aligned with the corners of my walls. Let's look at it in 3D. And again, it's got the railing that's right at the wall. That's fine. I'm going to leave it for right now. And it's got my stair drawn. Let me see. Go to this view so maybe we can see it better. Okay, I'm going to change the color. Since everything is gray, I can't really tell what's going on. Let me show you how to do that. If I click on that stair, again, the residential stair type comes on, and I'm going to edit some features, the material of the stair in here. And I go back to the run type, and I click on that box, and here's the materials for the stair. So let's change the tread material and see if there's anything different here. I'm just going to create a new one. Create new material, and I'm going to call this one tread. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to click a brown color. There we go. So hit OK. So my tread's going to be a brown color, and then my riser, I'm going to change it to a white color. Create a new material. Name it riser. What I'm doing here is changing the material. You have two different tabs, and the first tab is for shaded view, the one that we use right here. And the second tab, Appearance tab, is for a higher resolution view, which in this case would be the realistic. I don't want to set two different colors, so I'm going to match the same colors. So on this box, use the rendered appearance. So whatever color I choose here is going to repeat on the other tab. There we go, right there. So I'm going to say OK. And then hit apply, and then OK. Alright, so that's changed my colors. I just did that so I can see which ones are my risings and which ones my tread, and not have everything in gray color. So we see that we have a residential stair there. Let's go to our section. And you can see that now the tread and the riser terminate at the correct level, which is level 2. And we have our profile, which is a 3/4 inch tread and a 3/4 inch riser with a radius nosing. And again, the dimension from the edge of the nosing to the edge of the riser is 1 inch offset. So that's our residential stair. Let me go back to the 3D view. I'll show you one more feature. Notice that by default, the stringer shows to be above the riser. Well, we can change that. Normally that's the case for commercial stairs, but not for residential. Most of the time, the stringer is below the tread, and you see the stepped stair going up. So I'm going to show you how to do that. In here, under the property type, we have supports. These are the stringer, right support and left support. Right now it's showing a closed stringer, which is this one. It's a closed from the outside. You don't see the tread. So I'm going to choose an open, a carriage open for both the right and the left, and hit apply. And hit OK. And notice that now the stringer follows the step profile of the stair, and now you got that look. Now you don't have to do both of them if you don't want to. For example, if you wanted to have the support open on one, oops, not that one, this one, the stringer closed on one side and open on the other side, you can do that. You just got to choose left or right, and then OK. Now it does have the option. In normal stair construction, you would have the end stringers, and you also have a middle stringer. In this case, there's not one shown, but you have the option to add it if you wanted to. It's also right here. We got right support, left support, and middle. Right now it's turned off, so if I check that one and add it, it's going to show right there. Okay, so that's one way to do a stair. Let's go back to the floor plan. And to recap, I did the stair. I selected a straight run. You also have these other that you can play around with. Just pick 1 point, end point, 1 point, end point, and I finish my stair. Okay, I'm going to show you a different way to do a stair. Okay, we're going to do a custom shape stair. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy these two walls down over here. And I'm going to use reference plane to sketch a stair that I want. So with reference plane, I'm just going to follow, this same stair that I have here. And I'm going to use those as my treads. So these are 10 inches apart. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the run that are 4 foot apart. So I'm going to say from here that way, and then the stair is going to be 1 foot apart, there, and then one more time, 4 foot for the next run. Okay, so these are my risers and my runs, and I'm going to draw a custom stair where the end of the stair here is going to be flared and rounded instead of just square. Let's see if it works. So I click on stair. Well, let's click on you have two options in the down arrow. You have stair by component and stair by sketch. So the first one we did, this one, we did stair by component. So if you click on the down arrow, you have this other option, stair by sketch. So if I select that one, I get similar options, but they're used differently. So we have the run, the boundary, and the riser. The first thing I want to do is the boundary of the stair. Okay, so I select that one, and then I'm going to sketch the boundary of the stair. Use that one to sketch. So I'm going to say from here to here, back to that point, and then over here. And then also this is the boundary of my stair. Okay, now I did say that I want to do a flared option here. So what I'm going to do is back to my boundary. I'm going to use my archway, my arc, and create something like that. And I'm going to trim this piece off. So as my stair starts, it's going to start with a flare, and then it's going to straighten out. Okay, so notice that it's a green line. When I do a boundary for a stair, it's always a green line. Finish that one. And the boundary is only the sides of the stair. Imagine the stringer. So this is a boundary, and that's a boundary. I don't have to close this as a boundary. Leave that open. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is risers. Select riser, and then I'm going to start drawing my riser lines. So, oops. And I want to start with the bottom one, which will be right here. So right here it says that I have 0 risers created and I have 19 ready to go. So I'm going to draw with the arc tool my first riser. So let's say it does that. Notice that it says the first riser has been created. So I just keep going. That's my next riser. Next one. And then I'm just going to do straight risers. Oops. All right. Finally, I need to tell it the run. Sketches a run of stair by specifying a start point and an end point. Okay, I'm going to say I'm going to start here. Oops. Well, let me see. Let me try this one, see what happens. All right, what do we get? It says actual number of risers is different from desired number of risers. Add or remove risers. Okay, let's see what happened here. Well, it looks like it. Oh, look at that. Got a weird handrail going on there. We'll figure that out in a little bit. Let me just erase that one. But we have our custom stair going on right there. And when I drew this, I forgot to do the residential, and I did it with the stair, the commercial stair. That's fine. Let me see what happens if it won't give me the option to change it to residential, because I guess it's the custom stair, you have to predefine first which stair you want. Whereas this one, it's a component stair, you can change that one to any other type. and it should automatically update. But I guess I'm gonna get that message about the tread and depth and all that stuff, because it was first drawn with residential different sizes and this riser heights as well. So component, stair by component, stair by sketch, and you can get really fancy, you know, a U shape, L shape, I don't know, a V shape, whatever you want on the stair. You can do that. All you have to remember is when you're drawing your stair, one more time recap. Oops, not that one. Stair by sketch. First thing is a boundary. Identify the boundary, the sides of your runs, and then your risers, and then you hit OK. Never mind about the run right now. Just hit OK, and then it goes. Now, after this is drawn, you can always edit it by clicking on the stair and then edit the sketch. And again, notice that the boundaries are green and the risers are the black lines. So that's how you can tell if you're drawing it correctly. If you see green risers, you're going to get an error message saying that it's drawn wrong. So let's say you know, I wanted to edit that one and do a for some reason, if I wanted to do riser from here to here, if I want to do that one to have a radius, and if I look at it in 3D, then that last one has a radius. So you can always edit, go back and forth until you get something that you like. One more thing that I want to go over is let me get rid of these so we can see what we're doing. Notice the cut plane, the cut line right here. So let's say I wanted that cut line to be on this run of the stair. How do we do that? Well, that cut mark, the section cut, is defined by the view range of the floor plan. By default, the view range, the cut plane, is at 4 feet. So whenever you have a floor plan, there's an imaginary 4-foot height horizontal cut plane that you're looking from 4 feet down into the floor. So when you're drawing a floor plan, that's what you see. From 4-foot level down, you don't see anything that's above. Anything above the 4-foot imaginary plane is shown as a dashed line. So if I wanted to move this one, the cut plane, over here to that side, I would have to create an override of the view range in order for that cut plane to move over. But I don't want to do it here because that will affect the entire floor plan. So what I want to do is over here under the View tab, and then under Plan Views, there's something called a Plan Region. A Plan Region creates a boundary where you can create a different view range just for that particular boundary that you're going to create. So for example, I'm going to create a rectangle of just my stair, and you have to make sure that the entire stair is inside that boundary. Now inside that boundary, that view range, you can change it here. By default it's set to 4. So let's say I'm going to move it to 6 feet. So 6-foot cut plane, and then hit OK. Notice that section cut moves up to that other side. So at 6 feet, the stair is being cut at that point, and you can change it to whatever size you want. Let's say 6'6", hit apply, and moves that up, and you can play around with it until you get to wherever you want it to be. So sometimes that comes in handy, and it helps to move that thing around by using the plan view and then plan region. Now sometimes you have multiple stairs, like you have 3 or 4 floors, and you have stairs running on top of each other, and sometimes you get these dash lines overlapping the other treads that go below. If you wanted to make these disappear, the dash lines disappear, there's a couple of ways of doing it. One is the visibility graphics over here. If you click on that, you're going to get this pop-up window. And on the pop-up window, you see all these different components. And what we're looking for is a stair component over here. So I'm going to scroll down and expand the stair components. And the stair components, you're going to see all these different things that make up the stair. And the ones that say above, these are those hidden lines that you see. So if for whatever reason you wanted to turn off that hidden line, if you had other stuff on the floor plan that you wanted to see and you didn't want the dash lines to interfere with what you're drawing, you can turn those off by going in here and then just unchecking everything that says above, and then you say OK, and those dash lines go away. Okay, what you see, that dash line is a railing, so you would do the same thing. Visibility graphics, you go to railings and you uncheck anything that says above and you hit apply, and it won't show that point. So that's a pretty quick explanation on how to use stairs, and hopefully it works for you.